Good afternoon, everybody. Today, I have the pleasure to stay here with you and tell you some information about my topic, which is time. I consider it as an abstract topic because for everyone, it's differently. And I want to start off with this quote that says, "How we spend our days is, of course, how we spend our lives," by Annie Dillard. I think so because, in my personal opinion, time is life, and you'll see why and the reason why I think so in the next slides. For this, I have three main points that I want to share with you. The first one is my definition of time. The second one, how to take advantage of time. And the third one is the reason why I think that time is the most precious thing we have. The first point, my definition of time. As I said before, I would say time is subjective because it can vary from one to another and it can be different. So that's why I have here two examples to understand better how it works. For example, and when you jump out of a plane in a parachute, it feels like you were like 1 or 2 minutes in the sky, but in reality, you spent you spent 15 to 20 minutes in the sky, and it is because of the adrenaline you have in that moment, and yeah, that's time too. So it varies when it comes to those activities. Well, the second activity is, well, I'm going to read first this definition of time that I find very accurate. So it says the sequence of existence and events that occur in an apparently irreversible succession from the past through the present into the future. For this, I don't know if you can see it, but this is an arrow, yeah, and it's representing the past through the present into the future. That's, let me see, it is called the arrow of time because, as I had said, it is the past, present, and the future. It goes from this point to this point, so it's like that arrow. And something that caught my attention was that it says apparently irreversible succession from the past. So it means that we don't really know if we can travel into the future or to the past. But I realized that we can travel to the future. For this, to give you an example of this, I have this astronaut because there was one time that two astronauts went to the space, and when they came back, they were 0.02 seconds younger than the people here, and it is because the gravity, the time, the zones that, like, yeah, the zone times, yeah, I would say, and it's different. But if you want to look it up, you can search it on internet. You can put in two astronauts travel into the future, and they will appear. But it has to be something like Einstein's theory of relativity. That's a complex topic, so I'm not going to go in detail with that. The second idea, how to take advantage of time. Of course, I'm not an expert with this topic, so I'll tell you my experience to take advantage of time, according to a very young human. So, um, the main issue for me is that time is finite, and we don't know when we're going to die. Some people say, "Well, I have this conception that okay, I'm young and I still have a long journey in my life, but that's not real because maybe in 2 minutes I'm going to die. I don't know." And I would say to just to be well, to try to be happy because we're not always going to be happy, and enjoy little things because, for example, watching a series for me it's like a special moment because I'm doing something that I enjoy. And something that I really recommend you is to make a schedule. For example, okay, at this hour I have the English class, and this hour the English club and everything, so you know when to start or when those tasks are going to be, and that's really useful. Another advice I can give you is to make your tasks public, but that's more to be more disciplined, because if you make like things public, you're going to say, okay, I told my mom that I was going to do this. If I don't do it, it's like you feel a pressure on your back because you told that person that you were going to do that, and that helps a lot. But it's just a general advice. And the last idea, the reason why I think time is the most precious thing. I believe so, because that's the only thing we have right now. We were born with nothing, and we're going to die with nothing too. Um, what you have right now, because you can choose whether to use it for something that is going to help you in the future or not. You know, something interesting we were talking about with my classmates is that what my opinion about people that say, okay, um, you have time, but you don't have time, because if you are always anxious and preparing for yourself to the future, you're not enjoying your present. But if you enjoy only the present, you're not thinking in your future. And if you don't think in the future, you're going to be unsuccessful because you didn't do things that will contribute to your future. And I said that's like an issue, I would say, because for me, I would say to have a balance between present and future, enjoying the present, but also thinking in the future. Not only thinking in the future because you're going to get anxious, and not only thinking in the present because you're not going to have things in the future. And the conclusion, time can vary from one to another. The thing that matter is that it is finite, and we decide what to do with it. Um, time, as I said, it's a very abstract topic because it can vary, as it says, and we have the freedom. That's a bliss and a blessing, because we know that we have it and we can spend it on whatever we want. We can go and travel around the world, or maybe we can stay in home and study for the future. I recommend you to do things that will contribute in your future, but as I said before, enjoying the present, little things that maybe for us would be insignificant, but they are really important in our lives. I better stop here, and thank you so much for listening. And I'd like to know if you have any comments or questions. Yes, Jose, nice to meet you, man.
Nice to see you again, bro.
Oh, yeah, nice to see you again.
Hi, Henry.
Hi, Eduardo.
Hi, everything. And I liked your presentation. So, yeah, I have a question. It's a personal question. It doesn't have any right or wrong answer. So, do you think the time in general is infinite or finite, like the numbers?
Well, for us, like a humans, for me, like I'm a human, is finite. But things will continue how they are if we are or we are not in this. So in this case, I would say it's finite for humans.
For humans, it's
Yeah,
talking about he born and he will die in the future.
that's right.
Okay. And do you think it's the time is finite or finite? I don't know what is the
Finite.
finite. Do you think it's finite because it's just only things a clock can tell you, ah, the time is over, for example? Do you think the time is finite, things for the clock, or we can mm, measure the time, for example?
Measure.
Measure. Mhm.
Yeah, I would say for now, the hour, yes, it's finite because it has a beginning and an end. But
Mhm.
as I said, if it's like we're talking about the theory of relativity of Einstein, that's something like very complex to explain, but that's in infinite. Yeah, and that's an infinite time, and it would be um what a pity, what a pity that I cannot explain to you the real concept of it, of that.
Mhm.
But the only thing I'm going to say is that yes, for in the space and everything is infinite, and but for us, as I said, it's finite.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Eduardo, for your questions.
No, thank you for you. I liked your presentation at all.
Yes, teacher.
Do you think it's only me, or is time going faster for everyone? Because I feel that time is flying. I mean, like,
Yeah.
yesterday I was a young boy, and look at me now. I'm old man. So, and it feels it's going faster and faster. Is it just me, or do you feel it too?
Well, for this, I have two factors that may contribute to that idea. The first one is that things have changed and now the society is to rush to do things faster and to do everything. That's the first one. And yeah, you're not the only one who thinks like that because we are aging, and that's the thing, because when we are aging, okay, now I'm an adult and I have my time limited. And but when someone is young, for like for me, I would say, okay, I have plenty of time. But when you grow up, it's like, okay, I don't have more time and things are going faster, faster, okay, because I'm afraid of dying. Well, not from of dying, but it's like the perception that people have when they grow up. So yeah, I would say it's not only you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much and have a nice afternoon.